Hey y'all, it's Hans. Welcome back to the HansETX YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, this is the first time for you to see this channel. You have found a spot for all the latest and greatest in night vision, thermal, hog, and predator hunting. We do all the scope reviews here. Everything that comes out, you're going to be able to see it here. And we've got a big show today. We've got a big review, so big that it's going to have two scopes combined into one. So we're going to be talking about the AGM Rattler TS35-640 and the Rattler TS50-640. So we just reviewed these on the Late Night Vision Show podcast. It's a show that Jason Robertson and I of Outdoor Legacy, we do on a weekly basis. So if you haven't seen the podcast, hop on over to the Late Night Vision Show on YouTube. You can just search it. You'll see all of our past episodes, all 186 past episodes. But before we get into the review, if you're looking to purchase any night vision or thermal optic, give us a call, 877-350-1818. You can find all of this stuff on the website, outdoorlegacygear.com. If you want to talk to somebody, you can call and talk to me. I will take your call. We'll talk about scopes. We can compare these to each other, to other scopes that are out on the market if this is something you're interested in. But you can call and you can talk to me directly, 877-350-1818. We saw all the major night vision and thermal brands, so we've got a bunch to choose from. And I'm telling you, there's the list of thermal scopes seems like it's growing on a monthly basis. So we're going to be talking about specs. Obviously, you're going to get to see the scope, both the scopes. We're going to be talking about the differences. That's what a lot of people want to know. What is different? You know, the differences between the TS35-640 and the Rattler TS50-640. We're going to talk about that. Obviously, you're going to be seeing video, thermal video. It's going to be rolling as I talk. We're going to be talking about ID ranges, and we're going to wrap it up with the likes and dislikes. So there's a lot to talk about here. We got a lot to get into, so we're going to jump right into it with the specs. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about the similarities in the scope. So in the specs, I'll talk about what's the same with both of these scopes, and then after that, I will talk about the differences between the TS35 and the TS50. So the similarities, we're going to start with this. Both of them are a 640 by 512 thermal core resolution. So it is a 640 resolution. They're both 12 micron. They both have 8 times digital zoom. Both of them come with an American Defense Manufacturing locking quick release mount. So it's a very high-end, high-quality locking mount, which is very important, and a very important feature that it comes with. It does come with internal video recording, does not record audio, 50 hertz refresh rate. Both of them are focusable, so eyepiece diopter focus and a objective lens focus on there. They run off 2 CR123 batteries. So there you see this battery compartment. Battery compartment locks down. The lid locks down very tightly with a screw, with a thumb screw on there, so you won't have a problem with that. Those batteries rattling around in there. You can also run these scopes off an external battery pack. So it comes with a cable. You can just buy any of those cheap little battery packs that you can get anywhere. I mean, that people charge their cell phones with, that will charge and run these scopes. The operating temperature, -4 degrees all the way up to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. It is IP67 weather rating, so it is what they call weather resistant. If you take it out in the rain, pouring down rain, it's not going to hurt it. So don't be concerned about that, snow or any other kind of conditions. It does have picture-in-picture display, 4 different color palettes, 5 different reticles to choose from. You can set multiple zeros on this. Like I said, picture-in-picture display. The TS35, the price on that is $3,995. The TS50-640 is $4,495. So it's exactly $500 more than the TS35. So let's talk about the differences. Obviously, when you look at these scopes, visually, the difference is that the TS50 is a 50 millimeter objective lens, where the TS35 is a 35 millimeter objective lens. So that's the easy way to point it out. So obviously the TS50, a little bit larger objective lens. In the video that we're going to be showing, you're going to get to see side-by-side walkout video with it. But the majority of the other videos with the TS35, been hunting with these quite a bit. I've had these scopes for about a month, and I've been waiting this long to do the review because I wanted to give everybody as much information as possible to help you make a better decision. But we've already done the reviews on the Late Night Vision Show podcast. So the other differences, the TS50 is a 2.5 power base magnification. The TS35 is a 2 power. So the TS35 is a 2 to 16 power. The TS50 is a 2.5 to 20 power. So higher high-end magnification for this. This is a lower base magnification. The field of view, that's where you're really going to see and notice the difference when you look through these scopes. The field of view on the TS35 is 66 feet at 100 yards. And on the TS50, the field of view on this is 46 feet at 100 yards. So 20 feet less field of view at 100 yards with the TS50. So 46 feet at 100 yards, 66 feet at 100 yards. This weighs 1.33 pounds. This weighs 1.18, so a little over a pound on both of these. So you can tell both of these are very small scopes. The button layout's exactly the same. The mount is the same. Almost everything else on this is identical except the 50 millimeter objective lens on the TS50 versus the 35. So I don't have to hold two scopes the whole rest of the review. I'm going to focus here on this TS35. So you got a 4-button layout right here. The menu buttons in the middle with the other buttons around it, and then you've got your power button, eyepiece diopter focus, your focusable objective lens. Like I said, you've got your one throw lever, quick release mount right here. You've got your battery door right here. You can see the scope, very small. Even the TS50. I mean, these are very small scopes. So a lot of people like to get these as backup scopes, buddy scopes, and be able to use this as a monocular if they want to do this and run this, as a monocular while they're, running something else on their rifle. So the ID ranges. So we've talked about the similarities in the scopes. We've talked about the differences. So what makes these scopes unique from each other. So let's talk about the ID ranges. I'm going to say with the TS35, you're looking at conservatively about 400 yard ID range. And I think the TS50 is probably going to get you another 100, possibly 150 yard ID range. So 500 to 550 yard ID range, which is great for a 640 resolution scope. So if you are regularly taking shots over 100, over 150 yards, I would, and you're coyote hunting, which is a small target, or fox hunting, talk a lot, like a lot of guys that are doing that. I would go with something with a little bit higher base magnification. If you're shooting pigs and, hogs at under 100, consistently under 100, 125, 150, the 2 power is going to be just fine, is all you're going to need. So again, if you have any questions about what scope's right for you, give me a call over to Outdoor Legacy. We'll help you out and make sure that, if this scope's right for you or if the TS50 is right for you. So with that being said, you've seen around the scope. So we've done the walk around. We've talked about the ID ranges, 400 yards or so on the TS35, about 500 to 550 yards with the TS50. Let's talk about the likes. And I failed to mention, I want to mention this. AGM comes with a 3-year warranty. So bumper to bumper warranty. I think most of y'all know that. We've talked about AGM products before, but just wanted to throw that out there. So the likes, so there's a lot to like. First of all, the price. We have now with the TS50-640, we've got a sub $4,000 640 resolution scope. Fantastic. This is great news for the consumer. This is great news for the industry. Scope prices are coming down, which is going to fuel competitiveness. It's going to fuel scope manufacturers including more value and more features into the scope to make their scope, if they're trying to sell a scope above what these cost, they're going to say we need to increase the value of our scopes, and they do that through other features. So great move for the market. We've got a $4,000 640 resolution scope. We've got a $4,500 640 resolution scope that we're reviewing today on this channel. That's a great sign. It's not anything that we've done yet to have a $4,000 640 scope on this channel, with it being a rifle scope. So that's a big step forward. The size of these scopes is definitely a positive. Very small, like I said, takes a very small footprint on top of that rifle. These scopes work really well on AR style rifles. You can run them on a bolt gun. I would take a look at something else if you're going to plan on consistently using it on a bolt gun. Not that you can't. It's just not as comfortable of a fit rather than mounting this on an AR style platform. I think that with the batteries, the fact that on battery runtime, if you're running 2.5 or the two CR123 batteries, you can get about 4 hours of runtime. But being able to run it on an external battery pack is a big deal. It's the cheaper alternative. It'll last longer. That's definitely the way to go. I would also fail if I didn't mention this. I would feel like I'd be failing you. The fact that we have two scopes that we're reviewing that are this similar in price and function, and you can get these widely available. I mean, we're not scrambling to fill back orders, or you're not having to wait several months for this scope. These scopes are and have been all the AGM lines, pretty much the 384 rattlers that have been out for a long time. Those things, if you want those today, you can pretty much pick those up anywhere today. So that's a big deal, because a lot of people are calling and they finally got the green light from the spouse to be able to get a scope, and they want to go ahead and make a move before that permission has been taken away. Having these in stock on the shelf is important. And we do, this video is being filmed at the end of November 2021. These are in stock, ready to go, as well as the other AGM stuff. So that's an important, big thing for AGM, to have, be able to fill the demand for these customers to be able to get this scope. So picture quality is good. So I want to talk about that a little bit, and then we'll kind of go into the dislikes. But other than that, I mean, like I said, the size, the performance, the ease of use, no problems there, with being able to sight this in, not overcomplicated. The instructions seem pretty well, focused on being able to do everything you need to do with this scope. So picture quality, when you look through it, you've probably seen the videos. We've been watching this video, and you've seen the thermal videos that have been playing. You can definitely tell it's a 640 resolution scope. So it is, just because it's one of the least expensive 640 resolution scopes on the market doesn't mean that the picture quality is lacking. You can tell when you look through that scope, this is not a 384 resolution. So I will say the picture image is alike, and as we progress into the dislikes, it's also a little bit of a dislike. So it's really your preference. People have different preferences when it comes to the picture image. So when you look through this scope, the target animals are very crisp, very clean lines on them. You can, the target, if you're looking at a hog or a coyote, I mean, the target looks great, but everything behind it is a little soft. So you probably noticed in the video, there's not a ton of details in the trees and everything behind it. Some people prefer that, but the background of these the picture image looks soft. It's not over contrasted, or it's not super sharp. They don't have the sharpness and structure turned up really high like some of them are. So you line up 10 people through that scope, and half of them are going to say it looks fantastic, and the other half are going to say it's not sharp enough. So it's really on the viewer's preference as far as the way they like their picture image. It is not over contrasted. It is not super sharp. There are some scopes on the market, in my opinion, that have too much contrast and are too sharp, and you lose the target animals, the heat of the target animals with the background, of the trees. I mean, you'll lose them. They'll blend in so well with the background that sometimes it's hard to see a hog or a coyote if it's standing in front of a tree. So that's a bad thing. But like I said, it's got a soft background. Some of you may like it and prefer that. Some of you may not think the picture image is good enough. So, and for me, I found it to be okay. I'm not the type that I don't like super soft image, and I don't like super sharp. So I'm kind of like halfway in the middle. But no, these scopes, you can definitely tell they're 640 resolution. I do think the picture image is a positive, but I also think that you need to know about the soft background. And I don't think that that's an unfair knock on these scopes, because they do perform well. I tested the zeros on these, taking them on and off the rifle. I mean, these are solid scopes, and a great deal at $4,000 and right at, close to $4,500. So if you have any more questions on these, this is the AGM Rattler TS35-640 review and the AGM Rattler TS50-640 review. If you have any more questions about these great scopes, give us a call, 877-350-1818. Again, you can talk to me directly. You can talk to Jason. Also check out our podcast, The Late Night Vision Show. You can find it on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, anywhere that you can find a source for the podcast. You'll find our show there. But this has been another episode of the HansETX YouTube channel, another review. Again, we've got more hunts, more reviews. The next scope we're going to be talking about here on this channel, and the one that I'm hunting with right now, is the Bearing Optics Super Yoder, and I'm excited to share that scope with y'all as well. Again, that's another sub $5,000 640 resolution scope that we have to talk about. So it is good times. It is great time to be in the market for a new optic. So we'll see y'all soon. Stay safe in the fields. Keep making the bacon pancakes.